Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to paint lily. These are peace lily and very simple and easy to draw. So let's start with today's video. So we are going to use pencil to draw everything, and then I'm going to use my needle pen. But you can use normal ball pen also. It is totally fine to use normal ball pen as well. Now let's start with the first flower. So basically I'm going to create two flowers and two leaves, and for this you need to create something like this, a conical kind of shape, and then at the base you need to create two structure which is actually a part of the petals itself, and that's all we needed for this particular flower. And then in the center you can create a big structure, little bit longer like this, and a stem which is coming from the base of the flower. So that's all we needed for this particular flower. It is very simple to draw, and let's do one more time. But before that I am creating a big leaf here. So basically this leaf is behind the flower and little bit overlapped as well, so that's why I have created something like this, little longer and bigger. So you can choose your own leaf shape, bigger, smaller, totally up to you. And then you can create one more flower here. So again create something like this, and at the base you can extend the structure and create a folded kind of pattern, and then in the center you can have a structure like we did for the first flower. So flowers are pretty simple, and leaves are also simple but bigger leaf. And in this particular one again I'm creating little wider and bigger leaf. So that's all we needed as a part of basic guideline, or a part of structure you can say. And let's trace everything quickly with the help of pen. So I'm just going to trace everything first, so nothing fancy in this particular step, and I'm using my 04 size needle pen, little bigger. So if you are using normal ball pen, it is totally fine to use that, and you can just trace everything quickly and nothing fancy in this particular step. So keep doing it until you are done with the tracing, and then we are going to jump into the next step. So to make this stem little wider, I have created two lines, and in between the leaf we have one more line, so I'm creating two lines for that as well. So that is something I'm doing, and then I'm creating some sub branches kind of pattern which we usually see into the leaf. So that is something I'm creating, and that's all we needed. And you can drop all the unwanted pencil mark. And to create little darker texture around this stem area, I'm creating some lines, and these process is known as hatching. So when you create parallel line, the process is known as hatching. And then for the center part I'm creating dots so that I can get little texture around that particular structure, and this process is known as stippling. So you can create multiple dots. More you create these dots, the darker shade you will get. And for the base of the flower, the folded pattern that we have, I'm doing some cross hatching around that particular area to make it little darker, because our flower is white in color, so I don't want to do too much on the petal side, but at the base I'm creating little darker texture, so I'm doing some cross hatching around that particular area. So when you do some cross line around the parallel line that you have created, that process is known as cross hatching. And then just rub all the unwanted pencil mark, make things clear for you guys so that you can see things clearly. And then with the help of brush, so this is the biggest pen I have, it is more like a brush itself, or a brush pen you can say. You can just go around that area wherein you need little darker color, and I'm also going around the edge of the petals and edge of the leaf to make a small pattern, so that it is more like a folded pattern, you can say, which we usually see around the leaf area and around the petal area as well. So if you are creating bigger pattern, it will more look like a bigger fold in that particular area. So this is the easiest way to do something like this, and I really like to do to elevate my drawing. So that is what I'm doing around the edge of the leaf and around the edge of my petals as well. But don't do too much, so you just need to understand when to stop. And see how elevated now these leaves and flowers are. And then with the help of fine pen, this is size 02, I am creating some soft lines at the base of the flower, which is coming towards the petal side. But don't do too much because these are white flowers, so I need couple of lines just in between to add little texture around the petal area. So that's all I needed, and that's all I'm doing. And you can repeat the same thing for the second flower as well. So you need to do this particular step with very soft hand, so that you can get little softer line throughout the petal area that we have. This process is little different than hatching, because in hatching we usually create hard lines, you can say, but in this one we are creating very soft lines, and the length of these lines are also differ. So that is what I am doing here. And for the leaf, for each section you can go and create lines or softer lines, I can say, like we did for the petals, from one side to another side, and from you need to do the same thing from the opposite direction as well, keeping the in between area a little lighter, so that you will get little lighter texture and darker texture both. And you need to repeat the same thing for all the sections that you have into the leaf area, both the side. Let's create the another leaf, and basically we are repeating the same thing, creating softer lines from one side to another side, and from another side to one side, keeping the negative space in between. So these lines are very soft lines, so we are not doing too much here, but adding little texture around the leaf area is what we are doing. So you can do it in your speed, do not match my speed, because I'm showing you these things in a little speed way so that I can save my time a little bit. So take all your time to do these kind of things. These are little time consuming process, but very efficient process to elevate your drawing. So let's do this for all the sections of leaf that we have. And we are done with both the leaves. As you can see, we are also done with the flowers as well. Now last thing what you can do is doing some cross hatching, just to get a little different kind of texture in between the leaf area. Not in all places, but in some of the area you can do cross hatching as well. And we are done with today's video. Hope this video is easy and simple to follow. Please do let me know if you have any kind of feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video.